Anyhow, while this is happening, people are flowing in. Mint arrives, and his mom waves and offers him a chair, a very familiar chair.
No! No!
Who invited that chair?
Who built that chair? Where did that come from? Why does it look different than every other chair in this bar?
Floor is standing near the front flap, I guess, because it's a tent building, same as just about everything else here. And shaking hands with people, thanking them for arriving. And as she introduces people, Margaret and Manuel, who each have the list of targets for arrest, recognize pretty much all the names have shown up here.
Could you pinpoint some of them out for me?
Sure. Forks is listed as a top anarchist.
All right, so he gets to go free.
He looks like a trustworthy guy.
Crimson is officially the leader of the Pan Reptilian Party. So he's all about joining up with Drakenhall. Let's see.
Margaret lines a shot with her arrow.
Scale you met.
We're going to do this by the book. This isn't some.
Oh God!
He's going to gun people down in the middle of this.
He's
event.
not on the list, but you wish he was. Shock and Umber, who were guiding you into the city to begin with, same deal. Although I think you liked them at least a little bit. Navy is a leader in the, or he's a leading essayist for the Independence faction.
Yes.
Okay. And then you've got Floor, who is just
community leader.
Who is a community leader. The community's wronging them, therefore she is a target. She must be doing something they don't know about, so goes the Imperial reasoning.
We'll arrest Crimson and Navy and their associates, and then the sheer level of opposition between Floor and Forks will tear them apart. Then eventually they'll look to the Empire for help. The townspeople, I mean to say.
I don't think
Did you say that out loud, Margaret? I could have sworn you said something about the town tearing itself what?
Internal narrative.
Margaret Stone, Inner Mind Theater.
Margaret writing the battle report out in her mind already.
Yeah, she's already got the paperwork done, because she knows exactly how it's going to go.
All right, so everyone's being introduced. Scarlett's being introduced to everyone. She gets a sense of, like, people are wearing their loyalties on their sleeve right now. She gets a sense that Floor is inviting some people out of obligation and the old times more than she actually enjoys their company these days. Some more than others.
For now, I'm not really reacting one way or the other. I'm just, welcoming them and introducing myself, just as pleasantly as possible, given the situation.
Scale was not invited, but he goes wherever.
He brings the party with him.
Wherever Crimson goes, that's where he goes. Bit of a fanboy there. Rose was invited because she's family.
It is great to get to know her, because until recently, I didn't know I had much family at all, so.
People are singing songs. Everyone would love to buy Scarlett a drink, and when she's taken care of, some people would like to buy Scarlett's friends a drink, so, yeah, that's what happens. That's the
fumes with his chair.
If you didn't know better from seeing a guard outside every window, you'd think...
Are they just leering in?
You'd think this was just an average party and not an informal gathering of a bunch of... Well, if it weren't for that, you'd think they're just civic leaders rather than... on paper, dangerous terrorists.
Yeah.
I want people to feel loosened up during this party, because then they'll be more likely to talk about things that would compromise their own security. I should probably get rid of those guards.
Well, I just love the mental image of all these. Every window, there's just a large man just looking in.
An old woman.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would like to use my background as an Imperial Scout to give them the "I have this under control" signal.
Absolutely.
Let's
It's
roll.
just the okay sign.
But you wink super hard and it looks like something's wrong with your face.
That's 29.
Margaret hasn't had to move those muscles in a while, or ever.
All right, that's a success. They start peeling off one by one, not to be suspicious, but every shift change, people don't change back onto this post. It seems they've got better places to be all of a sudden.
Excellent.
Or all of a not quite so sudden.
Yeah.
All of a gradual.
All of a gradual. They've got better places to be.
Now Margaret's going to listen attentively while trying to pretend to be
I just like
having
that
a
this
drink or
was the
something.
best. This is the best
Margaret.
Margaret can do at loosening up the party.
Hey, Margaret.
What?
Hey, Margaret.
What?
Try this.
I
Excuse me.
I appreciate the
Mint's
offer, but
also
I'd rather
very
not.
No.
What is it?
It's,
What is it?
Here. Let me show you. First,
It's called a here.
here.
It's the house specialty.
Yeah. The important thing is that you hold it with both hands when you drink it. I know it's not very big and you can lift it with one hand, but hold it with both hands while you're drinking it.
What is it made of? What
It's-
comprises
it's-
this?
I don't know, it's pretty good.
Local. That's a
It's pretty.
Dragonborn
It's made
specialty.
of some good stuff.
Well,
It's got some nice flavors in it. It's got a nice sort of bouquet of lavender actually, which is really, much more subtle when you actually drink it. But
Mint might be a little confused after having one too many of those because there's a bouquet of lavender sitting on the counter in front of him.
Also, I might have been eating the centerpiece.
this is probably poisoned, but I
These
haven't had a drink in
appetizers
about...
No,
are interesting.
I take it with both hands and drink a bit of it.
You drink the whole thing and then give it back to her,
Well-
like, see?
On the other hand, I haven't had a drink in about...
How long has it been since I left
Long.
the military?
So I suppose a few sips wouldn't hurt.
Get
Yeah,
Margaret drunk.
like I said, hold it with both hands. Trust me, both hands.
Right, both
not
hands.
a-
Margaret drinks it with one hand.
Just why, though? I don't understand.
Uh,
Just to be contrary.
Should Margaret make a constitution check?
It's going to make an attack against her for drinking it incorrectly.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
It's
it
20
spills all over her. It's a
25
mess.
against...
Oh, no,
Gosh.
and that's when Margaret developed her drinking problem.
Her airplane style drinking.
Yes,
style.
exactly. That was the reference.
You have to hold it with both hands because when you drink it, one of your hands will go numb.
Is it random?
Yeah, it's completely arbitrary. So I guess you just had bad luck.
Manuel orders 2 of the most tropical, sweetest, least alcoholic beverages they can provide.
Those will twist.
Do they have a
you up,
cactus
Manuel.
version of an apple teeny?
Yeah.
Those are twisty.
Cactus is here?
The cactini.
I'm gonna take 2
Think that's a-
cactinis and I'm gonna share it with the new one.
All right.
Cactus is here, I just decided.
Yes.
He's not here.
Bonjour, though.
Oh, yes, he is. His tribe is originally from the Red Waste or thereabouts, and being the one remaining member of the tribe, it is conceivable that he would be visiting the
Oh,
area.
but like maybe they were the people that lived here before it got blasted.
Well, I don't know. We'll explore that some other time when Cactus is a main character.
While we're all having lovely drinky time,
I'm sure
does
Scarlett's
any-
already having had a few drinks. She's now telling stories of the things she's done, maybe showing off some of her magic, some of her magic tricks that she's can do.
Navy is very impressed. As Scarlett gets more relaxed, she takes off her shawl or her coat, rests it on a chair, and her not paying attention, her tattoo is fully visible, and Navy is very impressed.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
with the tattoo.
it's
Her,
well,
her
it's
tattoo / birthmark.
Yeah.
That's
nice
begins to
seeing.
say. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, but it's more of a birthmark than a tattoo. The rest I just sort of filled in myself to, complete the look. But
Cool.
I've come to like
Want a
it.
drink?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know why I'm voicing this guy.
or why he sounds
took
like
initiative.
this.
You're doing a good job with it. Go for it.
Thank you. Here, I have one of those weird things that you have to hold with both hands. Hold it with both hands.
It's
called
called
the
the
hold
here,
with
here.
both hands.
So here. It's one here for
Here.
each hand you gotta hold with it.
What if I hold it with two mage hands?
Oh, these are good.
If you try,
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, you're gonna see what
Drink.
happens.
Drink it wizard style.
Yeah. I'm showing off a little bit at this point.
Give me an intelligence check
From
on a
wizard
-2.
to-
Okay.
Because
That's a 37.
Damn. Drink the heck
Natural.
out
That's a
of it.
natural 20 on the die.
Yes, it is.
Just FYI.
Yes, it is.
Some wizards get stronger when they drink.
Oh, Scarlett's a drunk.
Does that mean
monster.
Does that
Oh,
mean
yeah.
that Scarlett is going to be
All right.
drunk but not get a hangover?
Scarlett drinks one with being held by two mage hands, and then chases it with a second, just held by her tail, and the whole place goes nuts. I've never
physically
seen
possible?
anything like that.
That's basically like doing a keg stand, but with that here.
That's basically a magical keg stand. Yeah, that's. Mint is
Well, that's just using a
spinning
levitation
some,
spell, but
you know,
orienting yourself upside down.
some garment and flailing it around.
Do a
above
keg
his head
stand
like a
next, though.
flag.
Do it with your. Mint should do that with his chair. This creepy
Do what
chair.
with the chair? Yo, what's with this chair? Why does this
Mint-
chair keep
Mint
following
suddenly
me
sobers up when he
wherever I
sees the
go?
chair again.
That he's sitting in.
that he's been sitting in the entire time.
So, does anyone have any business to do
Slots.
during the party?
Yeah,
Slots
Slots is cackling maniacally. Slots is cackling maniacally and carrying a huge stack of paperwork over to he goes to where the messenger pigeons are, and he examines the smallest one, and then he shakes his head because he has a huge stack of paperwork, and then he goes on to the next biggest one and just continues at that for a while until there's a weird musical trombone and a camera zooms out a little to a gigantic golden eagle, and then he nods his head and starts preparing his message for. Thanks, everybody. I'll be here all night.
That was the most menacing paperwork doing I've ever seen.
Well, thank you.
Manuel has
So
finished
is-
drinking because
these-
the bar ran
these
out
are
of
the-
umbrellas after those two.
These are the
tag
official
teams.
forms. These are the official forms being sent to various important empirical places in quadruplicate, so that nobody can set the forms on fire. It's procedure.
Right.
We know
So-
all about procedure.
Everyone.
we follow
Manuel
it
was
to the
saying
letter.
that he's used
This-
up all
that's-
the little.
That's why they have such a gigantic messenger eagle.
This place expects me to reuse my little umbrella. How? That's.
And we're
I can't-
frighteningly short on tiny plastic swords with my dinner.
This is unacceptable.
Well, it is a bar run out of a tent.
Wait,
That's no excuse.
Hold on, Manuel. I just had a brilliant brainstorm.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're out of little tiny things to put through the tiny fruit in your tiny drink.
Right. I see where you're
So-
going.
But you have
Goodness.
swords, which could go through a bigger fruit in a bigger drink.
I put my sword through one of the whole pineapples that haven't been sliced up for drinks yet.
Yes.
Say, yeah. Yes, this will work.
Bring me a bathtub.
You gotta just appreciate it with all your senses.
Give him that numbing drink, but it's in a wash tub sized bin, so he just loses his hand again. Again for the second time.
It came back.
It was fine.
It got better.
Bella gave him his hand back.
Yeah.
That was very nice of her.
Bella has a knack for either removing or replacing hands, it seems. Where is Bella, by the way? Is she just...
She's undercover.
She's in this place.
She's deep undercover of garbage.
Bella's working on plan A.
Okay.
I like that everyone has plans and Scarlett's not actually a part of them.
Floor is going to nudge Scarlett and ask, "Hey, is there anything you wanted to say now that you're here? Now that everybody, what are you gonna do?"
Oh, well.
Rum bathtubs for everybody.
Says Manuel.
By tomorrow morning, I'll be mayor of Eridu. No.
Eridu.
Yeah, sure. I've installed puppet governments before. You've met the Dwarf King.
He
Wait,
was very good at his job. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
his rock-like determination to lead. So, let's see. At this point, I'll just like make a toast to the crowd, saying to Eridu, to the
Eridu!
Yeah.
They slur.
Eridu.
Skull.
Say that I've had a long, hard life, but I'm happy because I forged my own destiny, and I worked. It was a lot of work and a lot of trials, but I've really made something for myself, and I think everyone can do that. And we can show the Imperials that Eridu deserves its own place in the world.
Here, here. I have a toast. I have a toast to make.
You get
I
a
have a
lot
toast to the people of Eridu. Your lives must be so hard to be recognized as an actual sapient beings by the Empire. Poor you. And I raised my
Oh no,
glass.
Manuel's an angry drunk.
Manuel is like kind of bitter about his situation.
The clap that went up from the toast, strongest among the independence people, and not so strong among the people that just want to go back to how things were, is suddenly silenced as everyone feels really awkward and weird.
I say, Manuel, if you want, you can be. You're welcome in Eridu.
I'm welcome everywhere.
Everyone
and
is. Everyone in Eridu.
I am a
Welcome.
magnificent swordsman, and everyone
What?
loves me.
Wouldn't that be great being the odd one out in a tiny small town? Somewhat a great existence.
Margaret's the only one who understands. She knows
True.
she's the odd one out in our group, being the only one who's sensible. That includes me.
It's very good of you, Manuel.
Eridu!
Give me another
Skull.
bathtub of rum and fruit.
All right.
Oh,
Is
Manuel.
anyone up to anything else before we cut to the next day?
If I could learn anything about about Navy or Crimson while they're drunk, that would be great.
Do you want?
Okay, are you going to talk to them or you just want to observe them?
Let's just observe them. I feel like Margaret trying to talk to me will result in bad things happening.
Well, at least you recognize it, I
All right.
guess.
Navy and Crimson, actually, they seem to be old friends, but much like Floor, their friendliness is out of habit rather than, if they met today, they certainly wouldn't be friends. It's memories of the old times. You get that sense from everyone over a certain age. It seems when you lived together, when you were fighting for survival, and then had to grow up while fighting for being recognized as something other than a monster. You get fast friendships out of that. However, now that they've moved on to the next struggle and come down with different answers to the same question, it has become strained.
Oh, do they say anything about like their plans tomorrow or their causes or anything of that sort?
There's friendly small talk of see you tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't had one of these in a couple years. Yeah, it's good to honor the old ways, and there's sort of a laugh because they're self-aware that their old ways aren't all that old when you get right down to it.
It's basically just, a pretty new savage culture.
Yeah, sure. Just keep that to yourself. And,
Margaret's internal narrative.
Unlike the Empire, a well-established and ancient savage culture.
Damn.
Exactly. Wait.
Now, that's about all you get from observing. Are you going to try to get in depth? Are you going to go undercover? Are you going to spend some resources on it of any sort?
I'm not really sure what I could do because Margaret couldn't talk to any of these people. She completely botched it. But
You could always try to instigate their hatred towards each other, towards the two ends.
You could pass a note signed from one of them that says, like, something really,
Why the
really
long
poorly
face?
pretending to be one of them, I suppose.
A completely ideal scenario for tomorrow is that those two, Crimson and Navy's groups, become agitated and start causing trouble, giving the Empire cause to arrest them, and then leaving the two groups that will fight each other. If we have to just arrest them out of the blue, it will cause, a little bit of resentment against us. But if we could come up with a good, an excuse for it, a casus belli, if you will, it would be, pretty elegant. What could we do to create something like that?
It's at a naming ceremony? I don't understand what could possibly go wrong.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly
Yes,
go wrong?
what could possibly go wrong?
Manuel,
Which is when we
Margaret.
cut to the naming ceremony.
Margaret says, I want to talk to Manuel for a moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
Manuel, what do you know about Dragonborn names, if anything?
I know
how do
they're
they do
usually
them?
what their color is, because they're very creative that way.
Well, I mean, who is doing the naming?
They pick a name for themselves, just like I
Pick a
did.
name. Pick a name for themselves.
Yeah, they figure out what
How old is this baby?
She's a day and a couple hours.
How?
She's not
how
a
is it
baby,
even-
she's a full-grown woman.
That's. Oh, sorry. Dragonborn culture is so weird. Sometimes it overwhelms me. I need to sit down.
Sometimes
Alright,
I just
well-
get a bile rising
Listen,
up
they
in the
just
back of my
clawed
throat.
their way out of the ground. They figured out what the world is and what's what, and then they decide what they're going to call themselves for the rest of their life, and also what their kin is going to be known as after they have
Actually,
children.
yeah, Claude is here too.
No.
That's so.
Sorry, you said it.
That's so weird. Okay, I need to instigate trouble. I'm going to go and falsify some documents that are like okay, what could I do to create falsify? Okay. I'll falsify.
Hey, I know what would cause some trouble, Manuel still says while still drunk.
Margaret's a little drunk too, so she's having a little trouble. With
These
things.
guys, every time they want to do anything, they always consult their big book. If you did something to their giant book in the middle of town, they'd probably be pretty mad.
Giant book.
There's a
What?
book that they write everything in whenever somebody is something.
What?
Whenever somebody is a thing, they write in the book.
What do they write down?
Everything.
I guess.
Eventually you get out of Manuel that they have a great genealogical record that they call the ledger that records the births, lives, and deaths of their entire people, or at least whatever information they can collect about them.
I'm sure if you wrote something in there that made it look like the anarchists wrote whatever.
Don't want to make the anarchists look bad. We want to make the two middling factions.
Whatever
look
you're
bad.
doing, you didn't even tell me, but if you messed up with their book,
No,
people would get
we're
mad.
trying to. No, it's. Oh, I guess I'll go take a look at the book.
Okay. You find it. It's being watched by a scribe. Someone who, more of an honor guard, really. It's just a volunteer position. It's this guy over here.
He's a total teetotaler, so he just didn't want to come
Hey,
to
it's-
the party.
It's Honor Gary.
Yeah, somebody had to stay and do it.
Somebody's got to watch the book.
Somebody's got to
Poor
watch.
Honor Gary.
Honor Gary's a bit of a night owl. He always volunteers for the night shift.
Thanks, Gary.
Let's have a toast for Gary. Post
Gary.
Good
Gary's-
job, Gary. Great.
How what does Honor? Does he look like he would be very difficult to get rid of? I don't mean kill. I mean distract.
Would he be too hard to get rid of?
Well, I mean, he's dragon spawn naturally are a hardy and muscular people. They are dragons in a sense, but he doesn't look like a trained warrior like many of them that you've met.
He's just some doofus looking at a book.
His day job, he's a farmer. He works in the fields. So
I see.
he can lift, but does that mean he can defend himself?
Yeah, farmers
Mhm.
probably can.
Is there any way to tell what like faction he's a part of, or anything?
Conversation?
I don't want to talk to him.
I don't want to have to talk to people. Oh my god.
Give me some
Why
sort
can't
of
I just solve this
investigation
political
roll
strife
to
without talking to someone?
try to Sherlock Holmes him then.
I'd like to, well, I mean, I had to have a background of, well, Imperial Scout's a good background for this, right?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
obviously
exactly
used to
what you do.
identifying, like, which the affiliations of enemies, so I'm going to
Mhm.
look over based upon, like, how wealthy it looks like he is, what his is, like, what he might be wearing, that sort of stuff, just to indicate what faction he might be a part of. So that'll be intelligence, rather, not dexterity. Oh, not good. Not good.
Also, one on the
You-
die.
You know that he at least respects the ledger enough to volunteer to be the nighttime honor guard.
But that
That's
one,
really all he got.
you think that he's hardcore on the Imperial side, so you can just walk up and talk to him about the Emperor and stuff, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you think
go
that you think that as a fellow farmer, he's gonna think just like you.
Yeah, I mean, you got something in common. You're both
Go
I
for
simple
it.
farm folk.
think Margaret's drunk enough to make a bad decision.
Hell yeah, this is where all the best role playing comes from. Honestly,
I mean,
that's
that-
a little tip for everybody at home: get your characters into horrible situations and make them make mistakes. That's where all the real fun stuff comes out.
I mean, you did roll a
Take for
one,
example
so
slots right now.
you gotta.
I'm gonna,
make a mistake.
I'll go over and talk to him and ask him, like, good evening,
Hello, monster person.
citizen.
Oh, hello. Did were you at the party?
Oh, yes, I was at the party. I had a little bit to drink. I didn't say very much. I'm not really very party person. Margaret just begins to freak out. This is the first time she's had a personal conversation in about 3 years.
Oh, all right. I hope you had fun. So are you here to see the ledger? We don't really get visitors around here. I don't know what visitors
Oh.
like to see, but if you're here, I suppose you're here for the ledger.
Oh yeah, I just want to look at it if that's all right. I'm curious
Okay.
about the town's heritage. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm here
He
yesterday.
opens up the first page, like, well, I suppose I might as well do the bookends, right? Here we've got the first emerged, and they came up with the idea of the ledger not too long, a few months after they came out to keep track of things in their lives. Something to do when they were trying to figure out a way to get something to eat out of this wasteland, I guess. And then, just flipping and rifling all the way to the back, we've got the end right here. We got a naming ceremony tomorrow, you probably heard. We'll be able to fill in this blank here, and you see the details of the as yet unnamed newly emerged dragon spawn from earlier that day. And
Hi.
also, we had a birth, so there's one even after that. And
You had a birth today?
yeah, it was Mrs. something. I put myself on the spot.
As your scale something dragon, whatever.
Yeah. Mrs. Azure had a son.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, did
I imagine you probably haven't met her, but
Margaret is
yeah,
confused right now because she doesn't really know very much about Dragonborn, and she thinks she felt that they emerged from the ground, not that they had children.
It's both.
So she's just kind of
They originally did, but they don't.
well, I know it's out of
Usually-
character, but Margaret is
Yeah.
is completely confounded.
So it's interesting to see these side by side because one's got a name and not much else, being an infant, and one's got all sorts of information and no name. But I guess that'll change tomorrow afternoon.
So it's not a big deal when you name an infant, but it's important when you name an adult.
Well, most people like to have something to call their kids whenever they're getting up to a ruckus. I'm sure you can understand.
But there's no ceremony for that.
No, not as such. Not, the old ways. He does that same laugh to himself. I guess it's an inside joke all around town. The idea of old ways.
Margaret's silence is about the proper response to their inside joke.
Margaret is at a loss. She feels like she has some vague formations of an idea forming in her head regarding how to use this the newborn child along with the and the blank space in the book in order to create some kind of plan to, incriminate one of the two factions she wants to oppose each other. But she is too drunk to really think about that right now. So instead, she's just going to sort of give up.
And with that, I think morning is dawning.
Yeah, I probably gave another toast at some point, just to all the friends that I made here, and to our new friend who's getting her name tomorrow. We'll probably have another party just for her this time afterwards. So be there.
But everybody just says Eridu.
Yeah. And then at that point, it's like, oh, well, tomorrow let's show him the spirit of Eridu.
Eridu, that's where I live.
Hey, how about let's not build up hopes for tomorrow? Toast. Yay.
Low hopes, yay.
Low expectations, everybody all around. I mean,
low bar.
Realism.
Let's set a low bar, real low, like down under the waist.
And then Manuel starts bubbling.
Low expectations lead to happiest surprises.
Yay!